Hey, I'm Gareth from Park Cameras, and today we're checking out the Sigma 85mm f 1.4 art lens. Now this one's a Canon fit, but they do actually make it for all kinds of different fits as well. And I've had the chance to take this out and try it in a few different places for photography and video. And I've got to say, this lens is like a masterpiece. So, as I've mentioned probably about 1,000 times in other videos, 85mm is one of my favorite focal lengths to shoot at. It just gives you that really, really nice look. I love the look of the kind of compressed glass. 1.4 obviously just absolutely blows my mind in terms of bokeh, but I was very excited to try this lens out. So combining the 1.4 aperture and the compressed glass look of 85mm, you can get some really dreamy bokeh in the background. So just completely blur out the background, have foreground elements which are blurred out as well, framing the subject, and you just pop your subject right out of the frame. It's also worth noting the bokeh is actually really smooth, it's really nice, you're not getting kind of artifacts in there, it looks great. It's got 9 aperture blades as well, which I think helps to smooth out those out of focus elements. But it's also worth talking about the sharpness in this lens. So the image quality overall was superb, but the sharpness was just blowing my mind. So even shooting wide open at 1.4, it was super, super sharp, and I was having no issues at all. So when you shoot 1.4, you might expect it to be a little bit softer, which would be totally fair enough, but actually no, it was super sharp, and that was true right the way, stopping down, it was just so sharp. I also really like the colors, I really like the contrast that I was getting out of this lens as well. Everything just looked really, really great. Now the lens itself is quite big and there's a bit of weight to it. So personally, I quite like that. Obviously that's going to be a personal preference, but when you've got a nice quality lens, I like to be able to feel it in the lens. It's a fair size, but it's not so big that you're not going to be able to pop it in your bag. It's quite easy to fit in there, and the weight is not so heavy at all that you're going to have any issues with it. But I personally just quite like having that. It also stabilizes the camera a little bit, having it a little bit weighty like that. Also, as you'd expect from a Sigma art lens, the build quality is great, it feels great in the hands, it actually looks great, the design is fantastic as well. So the lens itself is dominated mostly by the focus ring. The focus ring is pretty massive, but that's really, really helpful. So there's nothing I would change about that. It really helps in terms of manually focusing. It feels good to hold when you're just sort of holding the lens as well, almost like a grip. But it's so big that it's just very easy to go in there and focus. It also turns very smoothly as well, which I know is just a little thing, but I always kind of look out for that because it's always nice when that's the case. So the minimum focus distance on this lens is 82 centimeters. That means you can actually get in pretty close to your subject. You can get some nice close-up shots, and then you can pull back. It's also great for food photography, product photography. Obviously it's designed to be great for portrait photography, which it is, but you can use it for all kinds of things. I like using actually 85 for things like landscape photography. You can try and get some shots using that, but it's great for a lot of things. Now, in terms of video, I love shooting video at this focal length as well. So with the 1.4 aperture, with the compressed glass look of 85mm, you can get some really cinematic looking video. And I shoot a lot of my B-roll at this focal distance, and the 1.4 aperture just looks great. Now, for video, you might stop it down a little bit just to make sure you're getting the sharpness, but to be honest with this lens, it's so sharp that you're kind of fine. As long as you're not too close in where the depth of field is going to get a little bit wacky, then you have no issues at all. You can still just isolate your subjects into frame, just pop them out from that completely blurred background, and it looks great. The autofocus also works really well. It's nice and quick, nice and reliable. I didn't have any issues with it. Overall, the Sigma 85 1.4 art lens is a dream to use. So everything about it, from the build quality, the design, right through to the images and the videos, are just fantastic. It's particularly sharp throughout, it performs very, very well, and it would just fit in your kit bag, no problem. So I hope you found that all helpful. If you have any questions, pop them down in the comments below. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. If you liked the video, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, thanks for watching.